The stories are real. Come join us.
Look, I'm telling you this because I need someone to know what really happened out there. The official story. The one the park rangers told the news. That's not what happened. Not even close. My name is Sarah. I'm 32 years old and I'm a wildlife photographer. It's my job to go into remote places, camp out for days, sometimes weeks, and capture images of animals in their natural habitat. I've done this for 8 years. I've camped in grizzly country. I've slept in my tent during thunderstorms. I've dealt with mountain lions circling my campsite. I'm not someone who scares easily, but after what happened in Yellowstone last September, I don't think I'll ever go back. I was on assignment for a nature magazine. They wanted photos of the fall foliage in Yellowstone's backcountry, the changing aspens, the elk during rutting season, that sort of thing. Beautiful stuff. Easy assignment. I got my backcountry permit, packed my gear, and headed into the thoroughfare region. It's one of the most remote areas in the lower 48 states. If you hike deep enough into thoroughfare, you're further from a road than almost anywhere else in the continental United States. It's beautiful out there. Absolutely stunning. Rolling meadows, mountain peaks, pristine rivers, and so quiet. I set up my base camp near the Yellowstone River, about 15 miles from the nearest trailhead. The plan was to stay for 5 days, solo, just me and my camera. The first 2 days were perfect. I got incredible shots. A bull elk bugling at sunrise, a grizzly fishing in the river, golden aspens against a brilliant blue sky. Everything I needed. But on the third day, that's when things changed. I was hiking along the river looking for a good vantage point when I saw something that didn't belong. A tent, but not a normal camping tent. This was old, really old, canvas faded green, patched in multiple places with what looked like duct tape and fabric scraps. One of those big old-style wall tents that hunters used to use back in the 60s or 70s, and it was set up in the middle of nowhere. No trail nearby, no cleared campsite, just there. In a little grove of trees about 50 yards from the river, I stopped, looked around. Didn't see anyone. Hello? I called out. Anyone here? No answer. Now, in the backcountry, you respect other people's campsites. You don't just walk up and snoop around. But something about this tent felt wrong. It was too isolated, too hidden. And there was no smoke from a fire, no food hung in trees, no sign that anyone was actively camping there. I walked closer. The tent flap was partially open, moving slightly in the breeze. Hello? I called again. Louder this time. Is anyone in there? Still nothing. I should have walked away. I know that now. But curiosity got the better of me. I'm a photographer. I'm trained to notice details. And everything about this tent was screaming that something was off. I approached slowly. Stopped a few feet from the entrance. I'm coming in, I announced. If anyone's in there, please say something. Silence. I pulled back the flap and looked inside. The tent was empty. But it wasn't abandoned. There was a sleeping bag, neatly rolled up. A camp stove, a lantern, a backpack. Everything you'd need for a backcountry trip. But here's what made my skin crawl. Everything was covered in dust. Not just a little dust. Thick dust. Like it had been sitting there, untouched for years. I stepped inside. The air smelled stale, musty. Like an attic that hasn't been opened in decades. On the ground near the sleeping bag, there was a journal. One of those old composition notebooks with the black and white cover. I picked it up, opened it. The first entry was dated August 3rd, 1987. That was 37 years ago. I flipped through the pages. It was written by someone named Robert Hendricks. He was a wildlife biologist. He'd come to Yellowstone to study wolf reintroduction sites. This was before wolves were actually reintroduced, so he was doing preliminary surveys. His early entries were normal. scientific observations, notes about terrain, coordinates, weather patterns. But as I read further, the tone changed. August 12th, 1987. Found strange tracks today near the river. Too large for elk. Too small for moose, five-toed, almost hand-like. Game warden says probably just a bear. But I've seen bear tracks. These aren't bear tracks. August 15th, 1987. Heard something outside the tent last night. Thought it was an animal. But when I looked out, nothing was there. Just darkness. But I could feel it. Something watching me. August 18th, 1987. It came back. Closer this time. I could hear it breathing. Heavy, wet. I stayed in my tent. Didn't move. It circled the tent for hours. I've never been so terrified in my life. August 20th, 1987. I tried to leave today. Packed everything up. Started hiking back toward the trail. But I kept hearing it. Following me. Just out of sight. Every time I stopped, it stopped. Every time I moved, it moved. Came back to camp. I don't know what else to do. The entries got more frantic after that. Shorter, more desperate. August 22nd, 1987. It's not an animal. I saw it today. Just for a second. Standing between the trees, tall, too tall. Watching me. It doesn't move like anything I've ever seen. August 24th, 1987. I think it's playing with me. It knows I can't leave. Every time I try, it herds me back here. Like I'm being kept. Why? What does it want? August 26th, 1987. I'm running out of food. Out of options. If anyone finds this, don't come looking for me. Just leave. Get out of thoroughfare. There's something here. Something old. Something that doesn't want us here. That was the last entry. I stood there in that dusty tent holding that journal and I felt cold. Really cold. Even though it was a warm afternoon. Robert Hendricks never made it out of here. And his tent had been sitting here, undisturbed, for 37 years. I put the journal in my pocket. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I should report it. Maybe I thought someone should know what happened to him. But as I turned to leave the tent, I heard it, a branch snapping, close, too close. I froze, listened. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, circling the tent. The same thing Robert described. I didn't wait to see what it was. I ducked out of the tent and ran. Didn't look back. Just ran toward my camp as fast as I could. I could hear it behind me. Crashing through the undergrowth. Not running, just following. Matching my pace. I reached my camp, grabbed my backpack, left everything else. My tent, my cooking gear, my extra camera equipment. I didn't care. I just needed to get out. I started hiking toward the trailhead. 15 miles, through rough terrain, and it was already past noon. But I didn't have a choice. For the first hour, I didn't hear anything. Just my own footsteps, my own breathing. Then as I was crossing a meadow, I heard it again, behind me. Maybe 100 yards back. I turned around, nothing, just trees, grass, mountains, but I knew it was there. I kept walking, faster now. Every time I stopped to catch my breath, I'd hear it. A branch breaking, rocks shifting, always just out of sight. It was following me. By the time the sun started to set, I was still miles from the trailhead. I knew I couldn't hike in the dark. Not out here, not with that thing. Following me, I found a clearing and stopped. Decided to spend the night there. No tent, no fire. Just my sleeping bag and my bear spray. I sat with my back against a tree, facing the direction I'd come from, and waited for night to fall. As darkness settled in, the forest went silent. No birds, no insects, nothing. Just silence. And then I heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, coming from the trees. I gripped my bear spray. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped it. The footsteps stopped, and then I saw it. It was standing at the edge of the clearing, maybe 30 feet away, just standing there. It was tall, Impossibly tall, at least 8 feet. Its body was thin, too thin, like it was stretched. Its arms hung down to its knees, but it was the face that made me want to scream. It didn't have a face. Not a human face. Not an animal face, just smooth, blank. Like someone had erased its features, but I could feel it looking at me. We stayed like that for what felt like hours, me frozen against the tree, standing there, watching. Then it took a step forward. I raised the bear spray. "Stay back." My voice cracked. "Stay back or I'll spray you." It stopped, tilted its head, like it was curious. Then it spoke, not out loud. I didn't hear it with my ears. I heard it in my head, a voice, deep, ancient, wrong. "You found him, I couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. You shouldn't have found him. Please," I whispered. "Please just let me leave." It tilted its head the other way. He stayed. "You will stay too." No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now." I stood up, started backing away. It took another step forward. "You will stay." I ran. I don't remember most of that night. It's like my brain just blocked it out. I remember running, falling, getting up, running again. I remember hearing it behind me, always behind me, never catching up, never falling behind, just following. When the sun came up, I was on the trail. I don't know how I found it, but I was there, and when I looked back, it was gone. I hiked the rest of the way out, got to my car, drove straight to the ranger station. I told them about Robert Hendricks, about the tent, about the journal. They sent a team out. They found the tent. They found his remains nearby. They said he died of exposure, got lost, couldn't find his way out. But I know the truth. He didn't get lost. He was kept there. I gave them the journal. They filed it as evidence. But when I asked to get it back later, they said it had been misplaced. Convenient. I think they know. I think the Rangers know there's something out there. Something in the thoroughfare. Something old. Something that doesn't want people in its territory. But they can't tell anyone. Because if they did, who would ever visit Yellowstone again? I left Wyoming the next day. Haven't been back, but sometimes, late at night, I still hear that voice in my head. "You will stay." And I wonder, did I really get away? Or is it still following me? Waiting for the right moment to bring me back? I don't know, but I'll never go camping alone again. Never. My name is Michael Harris. I'm 38 years old. And until last summer, I thought I understood what fear was. You know, normal fear. The kind you feel when you hear a noise at night, or when your kid runs toward the street without looking. But that summer, that camping trip, it taught me there are things in this world you can't prepare for. Things that don't make sense. Things that change you forever. It started as a simple plan, just a weekend camping trip with my brother, Jason, and our 2 old college friends, Ryan and Caleb. We'd been talking about it for years, man. We need to get away from everything, Ryan kept saying. Phones, work, city noise. Let's go back to nature like the old days. So we did. Jason found this spot online. Black Hollow Ridge, he said. It's in Tennessee. Real secluded, no crowds. Just trees, a river, and peace. The name should have been a clue. Black Hollow Ridge sounds like something out of a ghost story, doesn't it? But at the time we laughed about it, we weren't kids anymore. We had jobs, bills, families. We didn't believe in campfire horror stories. We packed light. Just tents, sleeping bags, food, beer, and a cheap portable generator Ryan insisted on bringing for music. It was a Friday morning when we hit the road. 6 hours of driving, then another 2 on a narrow dirt road that wound through thick forest. No signs, no other cars, no phone signal, just trees. Miles and miles of trees. Damn, Caleb said, looking out the window. Feels like we're driving into another world, Jason laughed. Exactly the point. By the time we reached the site, the sun was starting to dip behind the ridge. It was beautiful. I'll give it that. Tall pines all around, a small river running nearby, birds echoing through the woods. We set up camp by the water. Everything felt perfect. We built a fire, grilled some burgers, cracked open beers. Ryan put on his speaker and started blasting old rock songs until Jason told him to shut it off. "Come on," Jason said. "Let's just enjoy the silence for once." So we did. We sat there just listening to the forest, the soft hum of crickets, the distant rush of the river, and somewhere far off, an owl calling. It felt peaceful, too peaceful. Around midnight, after a few more drinks, we all turned in. Jason and I shared a tent. Ryan and Caleb took the other. I don't know what time it was when I woke up. Maybe 3 in the morning. There was this sound like whispering. At first I thought it was the wind, but it wasn't. It was rhythmic, slow, like words. I froze. Jason was still asleep beside me. The whispering was coming from outside. I tried to tell myself it was my imagination, or maybe one of the guys talking in their sleep, but the whispering grew clearer, soft, almost melodic. I could make out the sound of a woman's voice. Leave it be." I sat up. My heart was pounding so loud I could barely hear. I leaned closer to the tent wall. The voice was right outside. I swear I saw a shadow move past the tent. I didn't unzip it. Couldn't. Every instinct told me to stay quiet. After maybe a minute, the whispering faded. And then total silence. Even the crickets had stopped. I waited. Maybe half an hour. Then somehow I fell back asleep. In the morning, I told the guys. They laughed. "Bro, it was probably just the wind," Ryan said, shaking his head. "Or you were dreaming," Jason added. "Maybe they were right." I wanted them to be right. We spent the day hiking, found an old trail that led to what looked like an abandoned ranger station. The wood was rotten, the windows shattered. Jason tried to open the door, but it was nailed shut. "Creepy," Caleb muttered. "Let's head back." But Ryan, always the joker, grinned. "Bet it's haunted." He started tapping the door, chanting, "Anybody home?" That's when we all heard it. A knock from inside. We froze. Ryan laughed nervously. "Okay, that's weird." But when he tried the handle again, didn't move. We stood there for maybe a minute before Jason said, "Let's go." And we did, quickly. None of us talked about it on the way back. That night, we built another fire. Nobody played music this time. We just sat, staring into the flames. Caleb said, "You know, I read somewhere this area used to have mining camps in the 1800s. Whole towns disappeared up here." Jason looked at him. "Disappeared?" "Yeah, collapsed tunnels, fires. One group just vanished one winter. Searchers found their camp. Food, tools, everything, no bodies." Ryan laughed, but it sounded forced. "Great bedtime story, man." We turned in early, around 2 a.m. I woke again. This time it wasn't whispering, it was footsteps. Slow, crunching steps circling the tents. I held my breath. The steps stopped right outside ours. Then a soft dragging sound, like something being pulled. Jason stirred beside me. "You hear that?" I whispered. He nodded. I reached for my flashlight, but before I turned it on, the steps moved again. Away this time. Jason unzipped the tent flap an inch and peeked out. "Anything?" I asked. He froze. Then he whispered, "There's something by the fire." I looked through the gap. The fire was still glowing, low embers, and standing beside it was a woman, pale, wearing what looked like an old white dress. Her hair was hanging over her face. She wasn't moving, just standing. Facing our tents, Jason whispered, "What the hell?" Before I could say anything, she turned. Not toward the woods, toward us. Her face, her eyes, they were empty. Not like missing eyes, just hollow, and she smiled. Jason zipped the tent shut so fast he nearly tore it. We sat there, shaking. Then everything went silent again. We didn't sleep the rest of the night. At sunrise, she was gone, no footprints, nothing. We packed up that morning. Nobody argued. Even Ryan was pale. But when we got to the main dirt road, something made us stop. A wooden sign nailed to a tree. It looked old, like it had been there for decades. The paint was faded, but you could still read it. Black Hollow Ridge, site closed since 1983. Closed? Jason said quietly. Why didn't the website say anything? Ryan pulled out his phone even though we had no signal. Bro, that listing must have been fake. Fake? I asked. Yeah, like someone reposted it. Caleb swallowed. Who'd do that? No one answered. We drove the whole way home in silence. When I finally got back to my apartment that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing that whisper in my head. Leave it be. A few days later, Jason called me. He said he'd looked into it, apparently. Back in the 1950s, a family vanished while camping at Black Hollow Ridge. A father, mother, and 2 kids. The searchers only found the mother alive, but when they brought her out, she wouldn't speak, just kept whispering the same words. Over and over, leave it be. He laughed nervously. Probably just an old legend, right? I didn't laugh, because every night since we left, I still hear that voice. Sometimes it's outside my window. Sometimes it's behind me when I'm alone. And sometimes I hear a woman crying, somewhere deep in the dark. I haven't been camping since. I don't think I ever will again. My name is David Miller. I'm 41 years old. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a high school teacher. My wife, Jennifer, she's a nurse. We have 2 kids. Had 2 kids, I'm sorry. I still can't say it right. Our son, Ethan, he's 12 now. And our daughter, our baby girl, Emma. She was 7 years old, God, I'm sorry. This is hard, but I need to tell someone what really happened. Because the official story, what the park rangers said, what the news reported, that's not the truth. That's not what happened to our little girl. It was last June, summer vacation. We'd been planning this trip for months. Family camping trip to Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It was supposed to be perfect. Quality time together, away from screens, away from work, just us, just our family. We'd never been camping before. Not real camping. We'd done the whole RV park thing once or twice, but this was different. This was tent camping. In the backcountry, we wanted the kids to experience real nature, you know? To see what it was like before everyone had phones and iPads. Jennifer wasn't sure about it at first. She's always been the worrier. What if the kids get scared? She said, what if it rains? What if we see a bear? But I convinced her. I promised her it would be safe, that I'd done my research, that thousands of families camp in the Smokies every year without any problems. I wish I'd listened to her. We arrived at the park on a Friday morning. Early June, the weather was perfect, sunny, warm, not too hot. We checked in at the ranger station, got our backcountry permit, and hit the trail around noon. The hike in was about 3 miles. Not too bad. Ethan handled it like a champ. Emma, she struggled a little. She was only 7 and her little legs got tired. But she was so excited, kept pointing at birds and flowers and asking me what they were called. Look, Daddy, look at that one. That's a cardinal, sweetie. Can I take a picture? Sure, baby. Use my phone. She took about 50 pictures on that hike. Blurry photos of trees and rocks and her own feet. She was so proud of them. I still have those photos. I can't delete them. I've tried, but I can't. We set up camp in a designated site near Laurel Creek. It was beautiful. A small clearing surrounded by thick forest. The creek was about 20 yards away. Clear water running over smooth stones. The sound was so peaceful. We pitched our 2 tents. One for me and Jennifer. One for the kids. Emma was nervous about sleeping in a tent with just her brother, but Ethan promised he'd protect her. I've got a flashlight, Em, he said. And I'll stay awake all night if you want, she smiled. All night? All night. Promise? Promise, God, he was such a good big brother. That first evening was perfect. We made hot dogs over the campfire, roasted marshmallows. Jennifer told the kids about constellations. Ethan taught Emma how to skip stones in the creek. Around 8:30, as the sun was setting, Emma came up to me. "Daddy?" "Yeah, sweetie." "Can we go on a walk?" "Just us? A walk? Right now?" "Yeah, I want to see the fireflies." I looked at Jennifer. She shrugged. "Don't go far. We won't, just down to the creek and back. 10 minutes. I took Emma's hand and we walked down to the water's edge. And she was right. The fireflies were incredible. Hundreds of them, blinking in the growing darkness like little stars. Emma was mesmerized. She chased them, tried to catch them, laughing every time one blinked near her face. "They're so pretty, Daddy." "They are, aren't they? Can we stay here forever?" I laughed. "Forever?" "Yeah, just you and me and the fireflies." I knelt down, hugged her. "I love you, baby girl." "I love you too, Daddy." That was the last normal moment we had. We went back to camp, got the kids ready for bed, brushed teeth, changed into pajamas, tucked them into their tent. "Remember," Jennifer said, "if you need anything at all, we're right here. Just yell, okay?" "Okay, Mom," Ethan said. "Love you both." "Love you too." We zipped up their tent, went to ours, settled in for the night. I fell asleep almost immediately. I was exhausted from the hike, but sometime around midnight, I woke up. Jennifer was shaking me. David, wake up." "What? What's wrong?" "Do you hear that?" I listened, crying. Someone was crying. "Is that Emma?" I whispered. We both listened harder. It was coming from outside. Not from the kids' tent. From the forest, a child crying, soft, distant. "That's not Emma," Jennifer said. That's someone else." We unzipped our tent, looked out. The kids' tent was closed, silent, but we could still hear the crying, coming from the trees. Beyond our campsite. "Hello?" I called out. "Is someone there? Are you okay?" The crying stopped. Silence. "Maybe we should check on the kids," Jennifer whispered. We walked to their tent, unzipped it quietly. Both kids were asleep. Ethan snoring softly, Emma curled up in her sleeping bag. "See?" I whispered. "They're fine. Probably just some animal. Or another camper's kid having a nightmare." Jennifer didn't look convinced, but she nodded. We went back to our tent, tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I woke up again at dawn. Jennifer was already awake, sitting up, staring at the tent wall. "Did you sleep?" I asked. "No, Jen. I kept hearing it all night. That crying never stopped." "You're sure it wasn't Emma?" I checked on her 3 times. She was asleep every time. I didn't know what to say. We got dressed, went outside. The sun was just coming up. The forest was peaceful. Birds singing, creek babbling, no crying. "See," I said. "Whatever it was, it's gone now." Jennifer still looked worried. "Maybe we should pack up. Go home early." "What?" "No, we just got here. The kids are so excited. I have a bad feeling about this place, David." "Jen, it's just the forest. It's unfamiliar. That's all. We'll feel better after breakfast." She didn't argue, but I could see it in her eyes. She wanted to leave. I should have listened to her. We made breakfast, woke the kids. They were in great moods. Ethan wanted to explore. Emma wanted to look for more fireflies. "Can we go on a hike?" Emma asked. "Sure," I said. "After breakfast, we'll all go together." We ate, packed a day bag with water and snacks, set off on a nearby trail around 9 a.m. The trail was well marked, easy. It looped through the forest and came back to our campsite, about 2 miles total. The kids ran ahead, not too far, just enough to feel independent. Jennifer and I walked behind them, holding hands. "See?" I said. "This is nice. This is what we needed." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. We were about halfway through the loop when Emma stopped. "Daddy, look," she was pointing off the trail. "To the forest. What is it, sweetie?" "There's a girl." Jennifer and I walked up, looked where Emma was pointing. I didn't see anything. Just trees, undergrowth, shadows. "Where, honey?" Right there. She's waving at me. Ethan came back. I don't see anyone. She's right there. Emma insisted. Can't you see her? Emma, Jennifer said gently. There's nobody there. Yes, there is. She wants me to come play. And before we could stop her, Emma ran into the forest. Emma! No, we chased after her, crashing through bushes, jumping over logs. Emma, come back! She was fast, faster than I'd ever seen her run, weaving through trees like she knew exactly where she was going. Emma, stop. She didn't stop. She didn't even look back. We ran for what felt like forever. The forest got thicker, darker, the trail was long gone, and then she was just gone. We stopped, out of breath, looking around frantically. Emma! Jennifer screamed. Emma, where are you? Nothing. Emma! Silence. We searched for hours, screaming her name until our voices were hoarse. Jennifer was sobbing. Ethan was crying. I was trying to hold it together, but inside I was falling apart. Finally, around noon, I told Jennifer to stay with Ethan. I ran back to camp, grabbed our emergency radio, called the Rangers. They arrived within an hour, brought search dogs, volunteers, helicopters. We searched for 3 days. 3 days of walking through that forest, calling her name, hoping, praying. They found nothing. No trace of her. No footprints. No torn clothing. No signs of struggle. It was like she'd just vanished. The Rangers said she probably got disoriented, wandered deeper into the forest, succumbed to the elements. They said it happens sometimes. Kids get lost. The forest is big. It's easy to get turned around. But I know what happened. Emma saw something. Something we couldn't see. Something that called to her, and she followed it. Jennifer blames me. She's never said it. But I know. I see it in her eyes. I promised her we'd be safe. I promised nothing would happen. And I broke that promise. We go back every year. Same time, same place. We set up camp near Laurel Creek and we wait. Because sometimes, late at night, when the fireflies come out, I hear her laughing, playing somewhere in those trees. And I wonder if she's happy, if she's safe, if wherever she is, it's better than here. I hope so. God, I hope so. But I'll never stop looking. Never. Because she's my little girl, and I promised I'd protect her. I just wish I'd kept that promise when it mattered. If you ever go camping with your kids, if they say they see something in the woods, something you can't see, don't let them follow it, don't let them run. Hold them tight, and don't let go. Because some things in the forest, they don't give second chances. And once they take your child, they never give them back. My name is David Miller, and I lost my daughter. In the Smoky Mountains, this is my story. This is my warning. Please don't let it happen to you.